My opportunity at UCI really just started out of curiosity. At Pacifica, we're really encouraged to explore our interests and curiosities, no matter what our background knowledge may be. I basically just reached out, and the principal investigator of the Deltai tissue engineering group that I did research with said that I could come check it out and help out where I could. I started pretty basically by helping conduct basic tests. I was a lab assistant. So I think just by really demonstrating my interest through questions and helping out, as was needed at the time, they saw I was ready to take on more. So what started out as just simply writing protocols became learning how to 3D print and design different medical devices for the apparatus that I was writing protocols for. And then that kind of sprouted into actually beginning a study. After months and months of researching, testing, and then assimilating results into a manuscript, we actually got declined by our first journal, and I was encouraged by my mentor to just keep trying. So then we contacted the next journal for tissue engineering part A, it's called, and that time we were able to get through and to get our study on the route to publication. In between that point, I got to present my research at a temporomandibular joint conference in Philadelphia at the UPenn Medical Center. Gosh, that was daunting for me. I was basically placed in a room with 50 to 75 other high caliber scientists that had done great works in the field, and I was pretty much thrown in there to present our research as if I was just one of them. So that whole process was a confidence boost, if anything. My approach to learning is not a quick or impressive one. Ever since I was little in grade school, it took me a while to fully read and absorb whatever text I was given. I was always kind of meticulous in reading, and so whenever the teacher would assign a book, I would be the last to finish it, but a lot of the time I'd actually understand it better at the end. So I think that translated well in the science and research that I pursued at UCI, because anything that is novel and unexplored really just requires a sort of meticulous eye or a sort of patience. That means, if I don't understand it now, I'll understand it eventually. Not to be cliche, but Socrates said, the unexamined life isn't worth living. I think that's kind of the bridge between thinking and living. It really is a stimulant for the mind and for the body and for the soul to ask questions and explore curiosities and dive into interests. I think that the approachability of teachers and just the overall welcoming nature of the faculty and staff and all those that make up the Pacifica community really accustoms students to reaching out and to being unafraid to dive into whatever information or whatever conversations it is that you might be interested in having. So whether it be reaching out to Reverend Stratton before I'd even taken Faith and Culture, or Mr. O'Neill, who's head of school, just the overall approachability of teachers is something that accustomed me to getting as involved as possible in the lab at UCI and being able to learn and grow. So I think if I was afraid to explore that curiosity, none of it would have happened. So I think it's important to be fearless, to be curious, and to really dive into your interests and just explore.